coming into COVID, you say, why do we have a problem? You say, because government and policymakers keep making the wrong decisions and there's no one pushing back on them. So how do we deal with the lack of economic reform? Well, we get low interest rates to do all the lifting. I remember I used to work at the ANZ Bank, and Sol Eastlake would say, if you halve the cost of interest, you'll double the price of housing. That's exactly what's happened. It was predictable. I've watched the Reserve Bank, and I think the Reserve Bank's got it wrong a lot of the time. And I've been saying this not as in the last year or two, but for a long period of time. They raise interest rates too high, they raise interest rates too low, and they seem surprised by the outcomes they get. But the Governor of the Reserve Bank saying that they weren't going to put up interest rates for 2014, and we've had 11 or 12 interest rate rises since. And those things have real consequences. People make real decisions because they're relying on that. So you would expect that house prices would get expensive. You would expect that wages are going to be flat. And that's not a great recipe for economic growth going forward. I think one of the shining lights for the economy at the moment is that the advent of AI, cloud computing, they're the things that are driving efficiency and keeping the economy going in the face of some of the other headwinds that we're tackling. I'm not surprised by the large government debt. I'm not surprised by the collapse of the building industry. I'm not sure if anybody was paying attention during the GFC and what happened with the pink bat industry. If you're going to pour incentives into an industry, how's it suddenly going to expand when demand drives through the roof? The supply is just not going to come through, right? They're predictable problems. You can see them coming a long way off. So they're the sort of things that we talk about in business. So, what are the predictable problems that we really should be able to avoid? If they're predictable, then we should be able to see them coming. So